In the beginning of the story, we see a loser boy named Haruto, and he is currently going to sift in a new city with his parents. And at that moment, his childhood crush named Miharu, who comes to visit him, saying not to leave him from here. Ryo reply one day he will come back to marry her when he becomes a fully grown man. Now the end of the flashback, Ryo is returning from his university. Well, in the bus, a small girl is steering at him, and then Ryo decided to see at her then train or train-kun does it works. Now Haruto is going to be Isekai, but still he is thinking about those moments with his crush. Now after a moment, a smelly boy opened his eyes, and this is our main character named Ryo. Then he realized that some of the visual coming to his mind, but he doesn't know who that person is. He even feel pain with those memories. At that moment, he forgot his real name and started thinking and saying that who is Haruto? And why he is in my mind, and whose are those peoples? Wait a minute, I was in bus, but what does the bus mean? I don't know. My mind is confused. After this, more memories came to Haruto's mind, which made him more confused, thinking he is not okay right now. After a moment, many peoples came near to Ryo and started eating their foods, enjoying their meals. At this moment, a poor boy, a hungry boy is in front of them, but they are not giving a shit to Ryo. Even from them, a person told Ryo to get out from here because he smells bad after listening. This command, Ryo came outside and started eating some berries from a plant while eating. Ryo feel more memories of Haruto and realized that Haruto was 20 years old boy who died from accident. But eventually Ryo confirmed himself that he is Ryo, and he is here to take revenge from some people who killed her mother. Then some girls came near to Ryo and they asked if Ryo had seen a blue-hair girl, and even they made fun of Ryo's appearance and his smell because the way of asking question of the girls is not liked by Ryo, so he stays silent. And after the realizing that this boy is not speaking a single word, then one girl came near to Ryo saying sorry behalf of her sister. This white-head girl, his name is Celia, and after hearing all this, Ryo replied that he never saw a girl here who have blue hair. Eventually Celia asked they as slum, but Ryo said to that they should not go to slum because her shining clothes can attract many bad people to them. So even if they are willing to go there, they should change their appearance, especially their clothes. After hearing all this, Celia, before going to the castle, she used her magic to analyze the area. But she got shocked seeing Ryo have magics, including other members. First, they ignore this power of Ryo to move from here. But before heading out of here, Celia gave some silver coins to Ryo. After receiving these coins from Celia, he quickly moved forward to a house to hide these coins. While entering in the house, he got attacked by someone, but luckily he got saved due to the silver coins. At this moment, you realize that this person has already killed other persons, and Ryo's waiting for his death. But to do some reason, the time has stopped. Now then I spirited off a beautiful girl up here and see is saying Ryo has Haruto name also. She taught Ryo how to use magic. After this, the soul of Haruto poses Ryo body. Then he started attacking with all the techniques he learned from his grandfather. However, that assassin also can use the magic, and he is trying to defeat Ryo. And at this moment, Ryo used his kick, and because of his kick, the assassin got hit, eventually dropping his knife. Because of this attack, assassin got angrier, saying, "You little brat." He moved to hit Ryo, but Ryo easily knocked down that assassin from a single move. After this, Ryo is shocked from his powers. Then a moment later, he saw a bag movie, means someone is in the bag, and then reopened the bag. He found a girl inside that bag, and she is the one who is being searched by Celia and others girls. The girl is actually a princess named Flora. She begged to Ryo to take her in the castle. She saw many shit sitting around her, which caused her to be fainted. After this, Ryo carried Florida on his back and made his way to the castle. But in the way, many girls come to Ryo. These are the same girls who is with Celia. Eventually, a girl named Christina slapped Ryo because she was thinking Ryo is a bad guy who took Flora as hostage, and even he lied to them. But this was not the truth. However, Ryo tried to convince everyone that he's not a bad guy and he was not taking Flora as the hostage. He was trying to help her, but no one listened to him. Even a tall girl named Vanessa took her sword out to Ryo's neck. And now all girls are willing to take Ryo in the castle. After this, we saw in a room a boy named Charles punishing Ryo, trying to convince Ryo to say he was the one who took their princess as a hostage or kidnapping her. Meanwhile, in a room in the castle, Flora came in, senses she opened her eyes, and Vanessa told Flora that they have got the person and his being punished right now. However, Flora said Ryo was the person who saved her after listening. This all goes needed, a way to save Ryo. Meanwhile, Charles has made Ryo condition bad, truly bad. Then the girl arrives here. Charles said to everyone that the person has confirmed that he was the one who kidnapped her princess. But Vanessa told Charles that princess has awoken, and she confirmed this person is the one who actually helped her. After hearing this, Charles got scared, and quietly he moved out from here, and Celia tried to heal Ryo. But Ryo is not happy with this, so he didn't make this happen. But he got fainted, and when he awake, he was in a bed in front of Celia. Then Ryo remembered that Celia was the one who behaved good with him. So his anger decreased, and his claim right now. Then Celia said sorry to him. and he also said that the king is willing to meet Rio. Now Rio asked for help from Celia because he is not good at behaving in a conversation, so he need help to make a good conversation with the king. Now Celia taught him how to behave and how to make a conversation. Then next day, Rio is going to meet king and queen. Now Rio is in new look. Now Celia asked Rio if he knows how to study, but Rio is clear that he is illiterate and doesn't know how to study. Therefore Celia told him to meet her after school for private tutor, and he agreed, saying thank you to Celia. In the way moving forward to the class, Celia told Rio that the class students might not behave well with Rio, and he said he knows that after this. Celia said Rio to introduce himself to others. Now in the class everyone knows about him, while Rio is thinking about the incident when he talked to the king, and he allowed him to study at the Royal Academy because he saved her daughter. I know he introduced himself to everyone, saying how he came here, and he's hoping to everyone to work with him, to study with him, and behave kindly with him. And in this moment, a yellow hair boy made fun of Rio, saying, "At least you know how to talk, same as a servant," which made others to laugh. Then Rio took his seat. Now Celia started the glass and wrote some equations on the board, saying everyone to copy this and do the work. So yeah, she is the class teacher, and in a moment everyone is doing their work where the yellow boy thinks this is easy for him, while Celia came to Rio saying it's his first day, so he doesn't need to force him too hard. But at this moment, everyone laughed, thinking Rio doesn't know how to read after the glass over. Now Rio came to Celia's room, and after some knock, Celia came, but she was angry. However, Rio told her that he doesn't know how to read. And he is here because of Celia, because she told him to come to meet her for private tutor. After hearing all this, Celia realized about her promise, so she took Rio in the library. But the library is not okay because of Celia. In this moment, Rio asked Celia is small, but she is a professor. How Celia replied, saying she escaped the grade and moved forward to the highest study. And because passing the higher studies, she is the professor. Now then she gave some equations to solve to Rio, and he easily solved all the equations in right way and right answer. Now Celia is impressed, and Rio realized he's doing this because in the past life, he was a university student, and the questions is normal, multiplication, and division. Celia asked to Rio, who taught him about arithmetic. Rio said it was her mother, but she's in heaven now after this. The boat drank tea, and they enjoyed the tea also. Yeah, I asked Rio about his first day at the academy. Rio said it was great, and he didn't found any problems. However, he need book recommendation by Celia to practice his skills. Meanwhile, everyone is doing their training, and here Rio is taught by a person. This tutor asked Rio to attack toward him with his true powers, and Rio remember about his past life where he took training from his grandfather. Now he is trying to do multiple attacks to other tutor, eventually surprising him and everyone of his skills. However, the yellow boy is not surprised by his attack or his acting. Not to surprise now. Here Rio told the guy that he's not interested in night moment. Later we found Rio in the library studying for his upcoming exam. He is doing this because he wants to clear the exam with his full efforts. Now the day of the exam has come, and everyone has received their papers, and they are doing the exam here. Rio is doing great after the exam. Rio is outside seeing other students and thinking about his past life, especially about his crush Miharu. Everyone is not happy with Rio. After a moment, Rio came to his house thinking about Haruto and her friend Miharu. Here he told himself that he's not Haruto, he is Rio. The next day, and the exam results has out for everyone here. No one is happy with result because the first position is tied with Rio and Princess Christina. Therefore, everyone is thinking that Rio has cheated in the exam. But Rio cleared that he didn't cheat. He studied and attempt the exam as the others done. But the boy is not believing. However, girls said to the boy not to make any claims without any evidence after this professor came saying the result is true and known as cheated in exam. This makes the boy more angrier. However, he goes out from here. Eventually, girls are not happy with Rio moments. Later, Rio and Celia is in the library, and here Celia is now more worried about Rio because with this result, everyone is now going to make fun of Rio and be jealous from him. But Rio is saying that he's not going to affect himself by their thinking. He will ignore them, just as Professor Celia has done when she was in academy. But Celia said at that time she got many friends, but Rio does not have anyone. But Rio clears that he does have a friend, and she is Celia herself. Rio made her blush, and because in Rio's opinion she is a kid, which actually she is. But she is not okay with this, however. After a moment she is fine with this thinking. She is a friend of Rio. She also said if Rio need any kind of help, he can come to her. After a moment they both started laughing because Celia was thinking she was quite big from Rio, but in reality she's not that much big. Now time has passed, and all the members of the academy has grown quite much here. The man is announcing about some exhibition tournament where they fight against some knights, and to registers for the tournament, Alfan and Steward came out, and that person someone called Rio to join as well, but this made Alphon not happy, but he cannot do anything because the decision has already been made. Now in the library, Celia is happy about the decision of Rio because he is going to participate in the tournament, and he can be knight before graduating. But Rio said that he is not going to be a knight. And at this moment, Celia realized Rio has grown tall. Now after some talk, Rio said that he will go out for a journey after being graduate. After listening this, Celia offered Rio to work here with her because if Rio library is clean, he helps a lot, but Rio told her to be married. Celia replied she will be married, but not right now. And Rio said she's a quiet, charming woman, which made Celia after this. Is Rio revealed he will continue his journey to Yagumo region, which is his homeland. Now the exhibition tournament day has come, and the first challenger of the tournament is Rio, but it seems as no one have any hope from him. Expect Professor Celia. And the opponent of Rio is none other than Charles. Yep, he's the one who misbehaved with Rio in past. Now the match has started here. Charles started attacking Rio, and Rio is dozing all the attacks. And after a moment with her special strike, now he is the winner. Now everyone clapped on the win of Rio now in the night Charles with. A person is drinking and thinking he's the one who let Rio to be won. Now another day has come here. Celia is waiting for Rio to celebrate his win. But Rio is going somewhere else. He met a girl who gave him a love letter, and Celia saw all this. Now in the library, Celia is seeing all the report cards where all the students have written about their things to do after graduation, but Rio hasn't written anything. Now another day has come, and in the class professor asks everyone to do an assignment. But Alphon said this assignment has already been known to everyone except of someone, which is Rio. So Celia said to demonstrate his skills against Rio to everyone, they cast a spell, but it was not good enough. Then Celia demonstrate them what actually spells looks like. They saw the beautiful spell and everyone likes it. Also, they are amazed by this spell. So Rio said it was true that he cannot cast any magic as others do, but he can cast the magic spell in his way after the class stud praised Professor, and he told that he knows how Rio is seducing beautiful girls. Rio said he is not doing this, and Professor said he stewed not to claim anything without any evidence. While Princess Flora visit all this, she in her mind saying that she has not done anything to repay Rio for his help to her. Now another day with another task. Everyone is here for a mission, a work they are assigned to get at a point without any difficulty or injury. Alphon is confident about his plan and about his map to reach that place as soon as possible. They are going to follow Alphon. Meanwhile, Rio is going to take care of their luggage here. Flora wants to help Rio, but he didn't want to be helped by anyone. In the way they encountered with goblins, they enhanced their strength with the spell and easily defeated them. However, this man is going to create some problems, especially for Rio. Meanwhile, they reached a dead end. However, they are encountered with Orc Monster and Steward got injured. He asked for help, but in this process, because of him, Princess Flora is now falling from the mountain. However, Rio helped her, but he is replaced with Flora while they all are fighting with the monster, and they managed to defeat all of them. Meanwhile, Rio is fine. But he's not willing to go right after this to them because he's not willing to saw his magic powers to them. Also, he's confused about his powers. He remembers someone but didn't know her. Meanwhile, Steward is telling all them that Rio was the one who pushed Steward. And because of that, Princess Flora fall down from the mountain. And after some more talk, everyone believed this story, and they are moving from here, lefting Rio. But Princess Flora is not willing to do this. However, Rio has moved from here hearing all this. Meanwhile, a monster is approaching towards them, and it came. Princess Christina attacked with her power, but it doesn't made any hit after this. They made many attacks, but it didn't harm that monster. Knowing this, all them retreat from here. However, Princess Flora is helping a boy, but that monster has come. However, Rio saved the Princess Flora from that master cutting its hand from his slash. Now Princess is running away from here, and Rio is fighting from that monster. And he is quite good at this. And upon getting a chance, he quickly ran and cut that monster head. Now that monster is dead now. So because all the students have arrived here, then Rio made his way out from here while in the sky. That person is seeing Rio, and he is impressed from him. Meanwhile, in the academy, Professor is moving forward, and see here, someone voice in room Lord Garcia was talking to someone upon how Rio was missing from that mission. Now Lord Garcia decided to blame all the incident happened due to Rio. Now in the library, Celia meet Rio here. Celia told to Rio all about what she had from Lord Garcia, but Rio doesn't care about all this, and he is here to say goodbye for the last time to Celia. Also now, Rio had changed his name as Haruto. He promised to Celia that soon they will meet here. They both hugged each other and said goodbye, hoping they will meet soon. At this moment, Celia is crying and remembering all the moments when she met Rio. Now, somewhere this man has gave a task to this girl named Letifa to kill Rio. Now when Rio was moving forward, he dozed a monster, and now 3 days has passed, and he is here to get his needed materials for moving forward. Also, he noticed that someone is chasing him, and it is true because this girl is following him to finish him. Now is going to test pasta soup invented by a lady Lisa. And when Rio is testing the sup, he thinks that it might be that this girl could be same as Haruto, but it's not confirmed now upon thinking about her mother. Haruto is willing to visit his motherland because of her promise that he made with her mother. Now Haruto is in front of a guild where persons are trying new dish, and then Haruto came into the guild where a girl named Luton asked him to give his weapon to her, and Haruto did it also. Luton is happy seeing Haruto black hair. Now Haruto visit the dishes, and in a room he is going to try more new food, and he spends some good time here. And he also wrote a letter for Celia. Then he made his way towards his journey. In the way he found a girl's, and she is Latifa. She attacked Haruto, but Haruto defends himself. However, he got hit and he is poisoned now, but Rio managed to form that poison. Then both of them started attacking each other after getting on a tree branch. Latifa increased her overall strength, but Haruto managed to came close to her, which shocked Latifa because in her opinion, a human can't be fast as Haruto is. However, she started striking with her knife, but each time Haruto managed to dose it. And one time when Latifa came closer to him, then Haruto managed to knock down her. However, Latifa started crying, and because of this, Haruto used his magic, which made Latifa to sleep. Now Haruto noticed something, and he remembered it from a book. So he tried to unlock it, and he succeeded. After this past incident showed where little Latifa is being tortured by Stewart eventually because of that medal on her neck made her to say, "You are my lord Stewart," as Stewart asked her to speak also. Latifa's original name was Suzune. Now at present time, Suzune is fine. She also saw that Haruto removed that color from her neck, which made her to cry with happiness. Now Haruto is willing to be answered. Haruto asked, who was that person who gave command to Suzune she first? Said she have no idea, however, after a moment she realizes and revels that person name is Stewart after hearing this. Haruto realized it might be Stewart, now asks some more questions, then after realizing that she is not willing to harm him. So Haruto released her saying she can now run from here. He also told her to run for east, because at east side some demi-humans are leaving in groups so she can join them. Then Haruto made his way to move forward. Now B because they both are moving to east. So in the way, Suzune asked Haruto help her and to include her in his journey until she got her destination. However, Haruto is not willing to do this because he can't trust her. However, Suzune told Haruto that he can command her with the help of this or color. And after seeing all this, Haruto agreed to include her as a member of teammate. They both introduced themselves as Latifa and Rio. While in this journey, they also eat their lunch, and Latifa loved this lunch. Now after some more walk, they both are near to the wild, now B, because they are tired, so they are going to camp here for tonight. Meanwhile, Sailor received Rio letter and she is happy to know about him while Latifa and Rio are eating their dinner. Rio thought she might be same reincarnated person as him because she knows the dish name which is not from this world after this. They both are sleeping. And here Rio confirmed that Latifa is from Tokyo because she spoken this while sleeping. Now day begin. And Latifa thinks that Rio he same as her brother, but she is not confirmed. So she asked it from Rio, and Rio confirmed that she can call him brother, but he might be not her brother. Now both have started their journey, and they passed many locations also. At a new location, they are moving toward a tree, and they are decided to camp here, which they does. However, at that point, Haruto meet a wolf. Actually, that wolf is a group of demi-humans, and they are here to save Latifa, and Rio told everyone that he is no threat for anyone. However, when two girls saw Latifa sleeping, because if magic, then Uzuma attacked Rio. Eventually, Rio is not understanding them because they are speaking different language. However, Sarah Whitehair girl told Rio that he has kept one of her kind as hostage. Therefore, they cannot believe or leave Rio. However, Rio said he didn't kidnap anyone, but all girls didn't believe him, and because of their attacks, Rio is knocked down now. However, Haruto is seeing a girl and formed that girl Haruto now knew that this girl is somehow connected to Haruto and she vanished. However, Miharu appeared, but all this was a dream of Haruto. He is trapped right now. But Latifa came and she is shocked because of Rio's condition eventually. Then the old lady came and Latifa cleared that Rio is her brother. And after hearing this, all girls said sorry to Rio for their behavior being kind-hearted. Rio forgive them. And now then, because of the lady, Rio got out of chain. And that lady told Rio to attain a meeting which is going to be held tomorrow after this. All these girls go sour from here. And the next day, Rio is heading at a place where he saw a great tree which is very important to them. And it is surrounded by a magic barrier, however Rio can saw it, which means magic powers are quite powerful after this. Ursula came in a room along with Rio. And here Rio met two more guys named Sudora and Dames. All of them are speaking in human language for Rio, understanding they respect each other because Rio has forgotten their misbehavior. Now Rio requests to everyone to take care of Latifa, and everyone happily agreed to do this. However, Rio is a bit hesitate because Latifa is attached to him, and for the solution, Ursula told Rio to spend some time here with Latifa, and Rio agreed happily. and Sudora convenes Rio that he will do every arrangements for Rio comfort. However, Rio asked. He wants to learn about magic, and for this request of Rio, Sudora agreed. But at this point, a girl appeared named Dryas, and she is the spirit of that big great tree. And Dryas felt a spirit leaving inside Rio, but that spirit is sleeping. Dryas checked Rio, and she found that spirit is so strong and is sleeping inside Rio. Body Dryas told everyone that there are 6 spirits who went missing after Divine Demon War, and Dryas thinks the spirit inside Rio body is one of 6 spirits. Also, Rio is safe. Now everyone is thinking to treat Rio as sent because of that spirit. Now Dryas took Rio to Latifa, where he met Latifa and saw the house, which is loved by Latifa. He also ate something called rice and grains, which is delicious. After this, Sarah told Rio that Sarah with others girls are going to live together with Rio. It is happening due to Ursula, and for this, Rio agreed for the sake of his lovely threesome night meme. Also, Rio asked those girls to call him as Master Rio. After this, Rio is learning magic, doing training, and exploring the villagers at S Village. Now they also perform a special event. Meanwhile, somewhere a person named Rice appears, and he got an egg from a cave, and he is moving forward with this person. Also, in his way, they are being followed by a lots of monster. It might be that egg mother with her friends trying to save her eggs. Now I think 1 year has passed, as shown more. Ever now, Rio and Latifa received kiss from as a part of ceremony. Now Rio is surrounded by Latifa, Sarah, and Sophia. While having party, however, all these girls are too close to him. Then red hair girl told girls to behave well with Rio. Also, Rio is happy because girls showed how they want to be friends of Rio. Then Chief Ursula arrived, and she is happy by Latifa happiness. However, Rio has decided to move from here for his journey. Meanwhile, Rice is in a place, and he commands this boy to take care of Griffin while he is going somewhere else. He also told this boy to take care of that egg. Now Rice is in sky, and he is waiting for someone, and that's his monsters, and their presence seems to be known by others. Meanwhile, Rio is in forest with Latifa, and here he asked to Latifa how she fell here. And she replied saying, I love this place, and my sisters, I enjoy living and spending time here also because of you. However, Rio said that he is willing to leave this village after listening. This Latifa said that she wants to live with Rio. How Rio is not willing to do this, which made Latifa to run. Meanwhile, everyone has now know that there is something wrong in their village, so they are checking for it. And they all met Yellow Boy and Griffin. All girls asked why he is here, but the boy started to run. Girl tried some attack on him, but it didn't work more ever. A monster is following that boy. However, he is safe from monster attack, and Sarah sent a person to inform the villagers about the situation. Meanwhile, Rice is in cave doing something which is not normal, and because of him, that yellow boy is falling down. And at this point, Sarah summoned her bond spirit to help Alma. Meanwhile, that egg got crushed upon falling down. And because of this, the baby is dead now, and Latifa is in danger because of that dragon monster. And all this is seen by the villagers. And Rio, meanwhile, Alma is fighting with the monster with her bond spirit. She successfully strikes some of her bond spirit attack, and she tried to attack it from her sword but failed. And now Latifa is trying to distract that monster to get some time for Alma. Laya attack, however, when she was in danger, Rio saved her with his powers, and he is now fighting with that monster. He successfully made various strikes on it, and eventually with his power, he smashed that monster head, and Rio won the fight. Moreover, everyone got amazed by hearing that Rio singly defeated this monster, and because of this monster defeat, the remaining monster changed their path now after this. Everyone said thank you to Rio, and day has come. And here, Latifa showed her feelings to Rio for becoming his sister, and Rio, happy, accepted her as sister, which made her happy. Moreover, after some talk, Latifa has decided to live here to train, and she will wait for Rio to meet her again. Now Rio told Latifa why he is going for Yagumo region, because it is his motherland. Then Latifa told Rio that she is once dead in another world and she got reincarnated. Rio believed in her story because he is reincarnated, same as Latifa. Now he is going to Yagumo region to be more strong, and when he is leaving this village, he is gifted with armor clothes and a sword and even many more things, or items. And also, he got a storage items that looks good. When he was leaving, he took promise from others to protect her sister, and he will came back whenever this village needs help. Now 2 weeks has passed, and he is in Yagumo village, and this village is beautiful. And it seems that here most of the people are farmers, which is great. So now Rio asked some girls if they can guide him to meet this village head, and the girls agreed to help her now in a beautiful house. Rio met an old many named Yuba. Then Rio asked her if she could help him to get information about his parents who lived here 15 years ago now. For the information, they both are having conversation here. Rio told Yuba about his mother and father name. It was Ayami and Jen. After hearing this, Yuba told the girls to leave. They did it. Now, Rio told her family backstory upon how his parents are from here and how they died, also about her mother last words when she was willing to go in Yaguma region one day with her son, but it couldn't happen. And now Rio wants to build a grave for his parents. Upon hearing all this story, Yuba believes in Rio, saying his looks is similar, has his parents, and it reveals that Yuba is Rio grandma. After this, Rio is happy to meet his grandma, and he saw his parents' grave somewhere, and he prayed to them saying he finally made it to Yagumo. Now Rio wants to know why his parents moved from here, but Yuba said she cannot give this information to him right now, but she wants to live and spend her time with Rio, and Rio agreed to live here. Now he also knows that those two girls are his uncle's daughters. After this, Rio arrived in the house. Now he spent his first night with his new family also. Now he wants to help her grandma and works. However, he got a little nice scenery meme. Now he is making breakfast and he is preparing soup for them. He also used his powers to make the soup. After this, he meets Shin and a beautiful girl. I think they are his relatives, and they enjoyed the breakfast. Also, Yuba told Shin to help Rio for hunting, and he decided to do this. However, he thinks that Rio is weaker than him, and yeah, the beautiful girls likes Rio. Hope more ever. Now Rio and Shin is doing hunting with a man who is known to then, and after this hunt, it found that Rio has haunted many more animals than Shin. Now when he was returning, he feel that he is a bit dirty, and to clean himself, he made a fountain or a bathroom and took bath. Moreover, Sayo and Ruby is impressed with Rio power, especially with his smell. Sayo love this smell of soap. And at this time, Shin with some boy appear here, and he is not happy for Rio, and he showed it. However, girls loves Rio, and they are not happy with Shin because he tried to make fun of Rio later on. You found that girls are impressed by Rio and his works. Now Yuba asked Rio he protects someone, which might be a group or something. Who knows? Now some bad persons has arrived here not for good work, and this ugly bastard is another village chief's son, and he is messing with Gillers, saying girls should respect him because he's going to be Ruby husband in his opinion. And yeah, he is willing to spend his night here. However, after listening all this, Shin tried to attack this man, but he is not that much strong. However, because Yuba, Shin is safe now, and she allowed him to stay at the guest hut for a night later. When Gon is heading towards, he fall down because of messing with Rio. Now Yuba told everyone to stay at their house because Gon is not safe from anyone. Also, Sayo is going to sleep along with Yuba. Now day has passed and night has come, and Rio gave a gem to girls to protect them at night. Gon planned something. Now day has begun, and a traveler named Hayate Saga came, and his is in trade. Now they spend good time together later on. Rio is training and girl are watching him whenever he trains because of girl's question. Rio told them why he is training and why he want to become more stronger. It is due to a promise that he made to a girl at his childhood to protect her. However, now Rio have no any idea about that girl, but Ruby told him not to lose hope now after this girl took bath and they are sleeping. However, Gon came here to do something bad with them, and he is interrupted by Rio, and Rio, like a man, easily threw Gon out as a garbage, and he even punished him so hard that he looks awful. However, because of Hayate, he is safe. Meanwhile, Rio feels that this was the second time when he intended to kill someone, and he felt bad because he is becoming as her mother murder. Now Rio's cooking, and it reveals that Gon with his friends are arrested. Now also, Rio said sorry for yesterday, but Yuba told him there is to say sorry for Rio, because he done all that just to protect girls. After this, everything went normal. Meanwhile, Celia is missing Rio. Episode 8. Now Yuba said thank you to Hayate for his help, and she also gave me a ladder to pass it to his father, and Hayate agreed to deliver this letter to his father after completing his journey. Now Sayo, along with others and his brother, leave this village. Meanwhile, in Kingdom of Karasuki royal capital, until several days later they reached here, and Rio is here with them. Now they're going to stay here. Also, this man took Shin and Rio with him to a place where Gon got in prison. Later on, they eat lunch in a hotel, a restaurant. Here they are eating kamutan, and this Rio is eating this dish for the first time, and he liked it. After this, Shin say thank you to Rio for his help to save Sayo. After this, in another day, Rio is walking with Sayo, and in this walk, Rio told her to eat kamutan with him, and he also suggested her to spend some time with her father because he care a lot for her. However, after this, they were called as couple by this lady, but Sayo cleared that they are together or as couple. Now Sayo got new gift from Rio, cost of 2 silver coins. That lady also suggested Sayo to get close to Rio because he is good for Sayo later on somewhere in capital. A man is kidnapping a girl's, but Rio saved that girl from him. This girl's is named Komomo. Rio gave Komomo to this girl, and he grabbed Sayo's hand to move from here because he want to avoid any troubles. Meanwhile, Hayate is in front of his father here. He needs someone saved Komomo. Also, he gave that letter to him, and his father is shocked knowing about Rio. Meanwhile, Rio meet others. Here Shin asked Sayo to make kamutan for him, and Sayo agreed. Also, someone asked her about her new hairpin, and they pass a smile to Sayo and Ryo later on. Ryo meet Hayate and his father named Goki Saga, and her mother named Kaioke. They said once they both served Ryo mother, and they reveals that Ryo mother was a royal person, means Ryo is royal-blooded after this. Goki said that 20 years ago, Ryo father Gen has led them in a war between Kaiyosuke Kingdom and Roku-Ren Kingdom. He was great Nobel, and Goki got a chance to face him, and because of Goki recommendation, Gen got duty to protect Ayami, and after some time, Ayami fell in love with Gen, and around that time, a meeting was held between Kaiyosuke Kingdom and Kingdom of Roku-Ren. But Theon from Roku-Ren tired to do something bad with Ayami, but Gen saved her, but that Roku-Ren prince wants to marry Ayami to make good connection between these two kingdoms, and for this reason, Ryo parents left this kingdom, but now Ryo is here, and Goki asked Ryo to join the capital and to meet his grandparents, the king and queen, because they are willing to meet Ryo, and Ryo agreed, and Ryo meet his grandma and grandpa here. Ryo talked with grandma. Now Ryo is telling how his parents died. He also explained about her mother personality. He also explained how a man named Luisis killed her mother in front of Ryo eyes. So one day when Ryo was happy and her mother goes out to bring something, Luisis came in the room and he forced Ryo to drink something. Then he killed her mother. Also, Luisis is well known to Ryo and he mother. Also, he explained how he spent 2 years as homeless orphan. And then because of Flora incident, he got scholarship. Then his life turned to be good. However, most of students are not behaving good with him. But then are some students who are good friends of Ryo, as Professor Celia. Now Ryo is fine with his condition, however there is one man he cannot forget and forgive him, means Ryo is on his journey for revenge. However, his grandfather told him not to take this journey furthermore more, because the end of revenge is always bad as hell. Now Ryo grandfather wants him to fight Goki to check his strength against him, to take his revenge. No, they are going for fight, and in the way girl said to Goki that Ryo saved Komomo after this. Then match start. In the beginning, Ryo strike with this full power socking Goki, however, he managed to Kaim himself after some more battle. Goki, he's making his attack with magic powers, and to defend Ryo, strike with his magic powers, and he defeated Goki, and then Ryo said thank you to everyone. Because of them, Ryo got some lessons which will help him in his journey. Also, Ryo asked the permission to tell someone about his lineage, and his grandma and grandfather agreed. Meanwhile, girls are waiting for Ryo, and Ryo is in front of his parents' grave, saying his journey is going to be begun, and he will finish that person who killed her mother. Now in the evening, Ruby is talking to her grandmother and his cousin Ryo that Ryo is royal-blooded. And his cousin also, she is not willing to believe this in the starting, but because of her grandmother and the story of Ryo's father, she believed in this story. She also said sorry for his behavior towards Ryo. She bowed down in respect of Prince Ryo, but Ryo told her not to treat him as prince because he wants to be treated as friends. And so Ruby agreed to do this, calling him Ryo. Also, she asked Ryo to call her by her name, not by Miss Ruby, and then Ryo called her by her name Ruby. Now Ryo said to Yuba that he is planning to leave this village next year, and Yuba is fine with Ryo's decision. Ruby asked Ryo to come back and visit them in return. Ryo said we came to visit you and this village in future, and Ryo is going to visit someone who is similar as her sister. Now in the afternoon, Ryo visit Ruby, calling her by her name. Ruby, which shocked other girls, because in this world, calling a girl by her only name means they are dating each other. Also, Ruby told everyone that Ryo is calling her by her name because of her. Now Ryo is spending time with others happily. They also do farming. Meanwhile, Sayo is doing her work, and here Ryo told her to well, because she will taught others when Ryo leave this village. And after hearing this, Sayo is sad because Ryo is not planning to visit this village soon. Somehow Sayo is crying but making excuses that this is because of dust. However, Ryo helped her and Ruby came here, and she knew why Sayo is sad later on in the evening. Sayo is crying and her brother knew this. He asked why Sayo is crying. He thinks this is all because of Ryo, so Shin is going to meet him. However, Sayo stopped him, saying she is sad because Ryo is planning to leave this village after this Shin run from here, and he meet Ryo. He requested him to stay with them here. Sayo was saying sorry to them for her brother behavior after this because of CEO. Shin is now going to his home, and they leave now. New day has come, and here Shin bring fireflies for Sayo, and Sayo is trying to use Ryo taught magic as the time pass. Sayo is good at using magic, and she is training as the time pass here. Everyone is enjoying their meals together as some festival. Meanwhile, Goku defeated this man. Now Ryo said thank you for Kaioke for her help. Now Sayo is willing to talk with Ryo, and he agreed for private talk here. Ryo complimented Sayo hairpin. Then Sayo revealed that she is in love with Ryo, but Ryo said sorry to Sayo because he cannot return her felling more. Ever Sayo asked Ryo to took her with him to journey also. She was training every day from the last 6 months to be strong, to be not a burden in Ryo journey. Meme. Sayo is saying that she to be with Ryo, however However, Rio cannot accept her and her feelings. Sayo requests that she is not forcing Rio to love her, but she wants to be with Rio. However, Rio told her that he cannot do this. Then he leaving Sayo crying in his mind. Rio said sorry to both Sayo and Shin. Now after this, Shin support her sister now in the night. Rio is going to leave this village. He said goodbye to Ruby and Yuba. Then he made his way towards his journey. But at the end gate of village, Sayo is waiting for him. And in the past, she talked with Goki about her feelings towards Rio. Now in present, she is here to say goodbye to Rio. And said it also, she said Rio to do his best because she is going to do her best at works. Now Rio shake hands with her, then he left this village saying they will meet until next time. Now Rio meet Latifa and he told he about his Yuba and Sayo. Also, he is here only for a few months now. Rio request for a house to take it on his journey and others agreed to fulfill Rio's request. Now Rio meet others girls and he praised her, which make them happy. It almost like girls wants him after this. Rio is sleeping with a naked girl. After realizing this, he screamed and others girls came to see him and they saw Rio is sleeping with a beautiful naked girl. After this cream, Rio is trying to convince others that he doesn't know anything about this girl. Now Sarah told everyone not to be shocked because she understands Master Rio. This is his private life and they just saw it by mistake. But this is not what Rio was accepted to hear. However, he asked who that girl is. Then she replied that she is his spirit, but she and Rio didn't know why they are together. Also, she is the one who taught Rio about magic in the past. But right now that spirit have no idea about this. She doesn't know anything about her, so that spirit requests to get a name by Haruto. And because this was second time when that spirit said Rio as Haruto, so Orphea asked. She is calling Rio as Haruto. Rio told her that he will explain later. Now that spirit knew about Haruto and she can talk with Rio by her mind. Means they can use telekinesis to communicate to each other. Now Rio is thinking about her name, but before giving her name, Orphea told Rio to talk to elders about this spirit. And now that spirit changed her clothes. And in this process, Rio saw her friend or crush face in spirit, so he gave her name as Isia, and this name is loved by everyone because it means as spring, and Haruto also means as spring. Now all girls welcomed her in this village. Now Rio is with others here. They meet Lady Dreis, and Dreis is shocked, knowing Isia lost her memory. However, she knows that she is a spirit related to Haruto. Then Rio told everyone that he changed him named as Haruto because in the capital, there is bounty on him. In the meantime, Dreis asked what kinds of elements Isia can use or control. Then she replied that she can use all of them. And now they all are here to check her ability, so they are going to fight her. And when the fight started, Isia shocked everyone because of her speed and powers. She is fighting so good with Rio giving him tough competition. Their attacks brushed to each other. Also, they both use small tornado attack to each other before they can move further more. They were stopped by Dreis. And now Dreis is going to teach Isia all about the knowledge that he has as the time passes. Rio and Isia spent a good time with each other and others after Rio visited his new house created by dames. And now Rio has decided to live this village because his house is ready, and this decision of Rio shocked everyone. However, girls are fine with this decision of Rio, but Sarah told Rio to talk with Latifa because he is going to leave her once again. Now he is thinking how he is selfless towards others, especially towards Latifa. And in this moment, Latifa came to wash her brother back. And for this, Rio is not willing to get this done, however. Because of Latifa, Rio is having it now here. Latifa reveals that she is Susune, and she is the one girl that was present with Haruto at that time in the bus after some more talk. Rio has no choice left not to return. Soon, meanwhile, Isia is seeing the sky, and the next day in the morning, Rio received teleportation crystal that will allow him to return easily, and he is happy with this. But this works in one direction also. He got new items that can change her appearance after this. Rio is going toward the capital to meet Celia. Meanwhile, Celia is seeing a letter, and she is disturbed by Charles, however. After a time, someone came to take Charles with him, and Charles is behaving like he is going to marry to Celia. Meanwhile, Rio is on capital, and he is shocked to see this much crowd. However, when he got in a shop after changing his appearance, he now knew that this is because of Nobel wedding parade. Now Isia is going along with Rio to find or meet Celia. They came in academy, but Rio couldn't find Celia for the first time. Then, with the help of Isia, he now knew that Celia is in royal palace for wedding ceremony. She is going to marry Charles No. After knowing this, Rio is not happy for Celia. Later on, Rio found that Celia is ready to marry Charles because of the kingdom loss against other kingdom, and because of Charles, this kingdom is safe. Now Rio is going to talk to Celia about her will, and it has to done tonight, because tomorrow Celia marriage ceremony will begun, and Isia is going to help Rio for finding Celia now in the castle. Celia is with her father and fiancé here. Celia's father is feeling sorry about Celia. Sudden marriage. However, Celia understands this, and Charles is happy about his upcoming marriage with Celia. Also ensure that upcoming marriage will be lavish, because this marriage is not a simple marriage. It's a way between combining two nations' advance for better future and policies. Charles is happy, but not so Celia. However, she is not expressing this. Later on, Charles demands a promotion from the king to his side, and King was not willing to do this, but because of his kingdom condition, he's willing to do this. Also, it is feeling like he's been blackmailed by Charles, but Charles is happy. Nature is for his upcoming life with Celia. Meanwhile, Haruto is seeing the castle from the above, and he ensues that the security is quite good. Also, you get information about Celia, is location by Isia. Right now, Celia is in the castle, after getting this information to Celia. Meanwhile, Celia in a room is thinking about how met his father after a long time, but she couldn't have a good conversation with him. Also, she is now going to become a property of Charles for entire life, but she is happy because her kingdom, which is going to be good, but disappointed not saying this time. So is hoping to see him before her marriage. She took the later and memorize how's the last time met Haruto and her conversation with him. And we found that Celia has built feelings for Haruto. Also, she's going to burn that letter. However, hears some noise. Celia run to find who is it, and she found out it is Haruto. He came here to fulfill his promise to meet her. However, it takes him 4 long years, and he feels sorry for being late. Now Celia hugged Haruto, and she said how she failed after meeting her from such a long time. She is deeply happy from her heart. Also, she is surprised seeing Haruto height. She praised Haruto and personality. Haruto also said, Celia, you haven't changed, but you have grown up. You are a beautiful woman. As always, this blind made Celia blushed, but she is happy to meet Rio. She also asked Rio about his journey, and she makes tea for Rio. And cause of Celia, Rio found that Celia is happy to marry Charles, and she is marrying him, not because of her kingdom or anything, but Rio seems not happy with Celia's decision. And because of this, Celia said why he is not happy. So does it means that you want to marry me and run with me? But it just was a joke after this. Celia said Rio to return. She forcibly returned Rio. Also, she told Rio not to attend her wedding ceremony. Although after all this, she is happy to meet Rio, but she can't involve him in all this. Now Rio wants to know more about this marriage or ceremony. Then the next day, Charles meet Sir Rice, and Sir Rice congratulates him for this special occasion. Also, he is here to support him. Also, Charles invite Rice to meet him at his home. Meanwhile, Rice sends Spirit nearby him. Then he made his way to ceremony. However, that sense of spirit disappeared. Now Celia is ready with her wedding dress. Here she is called outside by Charles, and here Charles introduced Celia with his other wives. Although Charles' behavior is very sweet and kind towards Celia. Then he went out from here, and here Charles' first wife Tenesma meets Celia with others 6 more wives of Charles. Then she told Celia how to behave with others in Charles' family, because she is going to become Charles' 7th wife before she could talk more with her here. Princess Christina arrived here. She praised Celia looks and she congratulates her. Then Princess Christina and Celia talk in private here. They both talk to each other, and it reveals that Princess Christina is not happy with this marriage because she is thinking Celia is not happy with this marriage because her face tells another story as he's spoken with her voice. After this, Princess Christina told Celia to tell her anything if she needed from her princess. Christina will help her to bring her smile, which she admired the most. After this, Celia expressed that she is fine, and she will ask her if she need any help. Now outside somewhere in the forest near the camp, Charles is walking with one of the commander named Affair, and he told Affair that he can command her because he is going to Celia's husband. Now the day of this ceremony has come, and the ceremony has begun. In the kingdom, everyone is happily seeing in front of their eyes. However, we can easily see that Celia, it's not happy, but while pretending to be. Then everyone started cheering. Best wishes for Charles and Celia marriage. Meanwhile, the security is doing their work, and in the crowd, Rio is here. And after a moment, he saw Celia. Then after the permission of Rio, Isia came to talk to Celia in from Celia about Rio presence here. And after seeing Rio, Celia started crying because of her emotions. However, Charles supported her, and that made her calm. However, now Celia is not sensing and hearing Isia, so she thinks it might be her imagination. And now Charles is going to take Celia for the final marriage. However, at this point, Rio is heading towards Celia. Now Rio is adding to all the Celia attacking and the guards and dodging their attacks. He is reflect the magic of the mages. After this, the soldiers enhance their physical strength. And here Charles is confident about the soldiers' capabilities, saying they are the top selected soldiers out of thousands. However, but not in front of our hero Rio, he easily defeated all of them. And then he punched Charles that made him down, and also marry Celia hostage. Here after visiting all, these 2 men are trying to get Rio, but they are stopped by the soldiers. and Rio is talking with Celia through telekinesis, and he told Charles not to do anything, because if he did any kind of stupid things, then his backbone will be easily crushed. Where this is not going to be happen, because Rio said this to Celia. Upon her asking, after this Rio said he just want to listen the truth of Celia what she really wants. If she's happy with this marriage, then he will easily and happily went out, but he thinks she is not happy with this marriage, and this is being done all because of war and Duke. Also, Rio explained Celia about how he feels. Someone so persists to anyone loses him due to someone. And this time, Rio is not willing to lose someone at any cost. Then he asked one more time, Celia really wants this, is she happy with this marriage? And upon hearing all this, I realized as she wants to live with Rio's citizen want to be married with Charles. And because of hearing all this, Rio has decided to take Celia with him. Rio with Celia is running right now, and he is dodging all the soldiers. That is in his way. Also, Afrey is supporting Charles, but here also Rice has recognized Rio, and he is going to play with him, thinking he has become quite strong. However, his attack is dozed by Rio, and he is still running. Meanwhile, Afrey has decided to capture Rio, and for this, he commands the soldiers to guard the castle. Now here, Charles is angry, frustrated on the commander and Rio, but he cannot do anything while Rice is thinking to guard his king with his family. Also, he has decided to reach Rio by another way. Now Rio is running through roofs, trying to escape from Soilder. He said that he is going to run faster, and Celia allows him to do it after some time. Rio is on ground with Celia here. He revealed Isia to Celia. Then he is going to act as his plan, and Isia is going to explain the plan to Celia, while Rio is running, and Soilder called reinforcement. Now Rio dozing all the attacks of Soilder upon running, while Solider are on ground to get Rio as well. However, Rio easily defeated all them through his kicks, and now he is fighting with them, trying not to kill them. Now Afrey is here to catch Rio, and Rio recognized me, so he is defending himself from him. Afrey attacked with his sword, and Rio defend himself, also kicked Afrey away from him for a while. However, he is still fighting with him, and Afrey is not happy because Rio is attacking him, so he used one of his powerful moves. But when the smoke cleared, he found Rio is not here, so he commanded the Soilder to find Rio and Celia. Meanwhile, in Kingdom and Castle, everyone is quiet, while the weather is not good. Now them Rio returned to Celia, and she happy to see him. She hugged him by mistake. Now they're going away from here, however she is feeling that it is not true, but she convinced herself that it is true, and she is happy being kidnapped by Rio, while Rio had confirmed that he will take care of Celia. However, many strong power of light suddenly started to appear, and someone Isia felt something, and she told Rio to head out to help other. Meanwhile, somewhere we see two girls and one boy with them. The boy is named Masato, and here they are now being kidnapped by others later on. Rio asked this person about this phone, and after knowing that this Allmans has captured those guys, so Rio started attacking them to protect others. In a short time, he managed to help those peoples, and that second girl is actual Haruto childhood crush Miharu, and Rio understand this after meeting her. At the end of the previous story, we saw that some people reached that world through a portal, where they were kidnapped by bandits. Rio comes and saves them. Before continuing the story, we see a bit of a flashback. Haruto worked hard to get admission into the same college where Miharu studied. When he gets there, he sees Miharu right in front of him. He's about to talk to her when a boy comes to her and starts talking. Shortly after, another girl arrives and says, "Hey, did you forget you came here with me?" After that, the three of them start leaving. Then they meet two middle schoolers, one named Aki and the other Masato. While they are talking, many magic circles appear, and all of them are transported to another world. After saving the three of them, Rio continues with them. On the way, he informs Aisha that he has saved those people. Aisha tells him that she knows where they are and that she'll bring Celia there. After this, Miharu thanks him for saving them and tells him her name. Rio also tells her his name is Haruto. Hearing this name, Aki gets angry, but Miharu tells her to stay calm. Hearing the name Aki reminds Haruto of his younger sister on Earth, whose name was also Aki. She was 3 years younger than him. After their parents' divorce, they never met again. Then Masato tells his name and says he is Aki's younger brother. From this, Rio thinks that after his parents separated, his mom must have remarried. After that, since it was about to get dark, Rio uses his magic to bring out the same house that Dominic had made for him. At that moment, Aisha also arrives with Celia. She goes straight to Rio and starts asking about his well-being. After that, Celia and Miharu start talking to each other. but no one can understand anything. So Aisha uses her powers on both of them so that they can understand each other for a little while. Then everyone goes inside the house. They are all surprised to see that although the house looked small from the outside, it is actually very big from the inside. After this, all the girls go to bathe together. Celia tells them that Haruto's real name is Rio, and Aisha is a spirit who has a contract with him. On the other side, Rio is cooking for everyone and tells Masato that this world is just like an RPG game. Then all the girls arrive there, and since Celia doesn't have any other clothes, she wears Aki's clothes. Rio tells them that they will all go shopping the next day. When everyone finishes eating, Haruto, after listening to their conversation, says that it seems like all of them were summoned here. Miharu asks him if there is any way to return to Earth. He says he doesn't know. He didn't come here like them. He died in an accident and was reborn here. Yet, Celia asks if they saw a light when they were summoned here. When they all say yes, Celia tells them an old story in which, during a war between humans and demons, humans summoned heroes from another world, and the light they saw was described in that story. Miharu says that when they were coming here, 2 more people were with them, but they disappeared before arriving here. Rio says it's hard to say for sure whether they came to this world or not. Just then, Aisha starts pulling him to bed and tells him to come sleep with her because he used too much energy today. Seeing her clinging to him, Celia asks what she is doing. Aisha says she is recharging herself. Celia says she can't do that, but Aisha tells her that she always sleeps with him. Then Rio starts explaining Aisha is a spirit, so she needs a lot of magical energy, and he is like a source of that energy for her. Celia says even if that's true, they still can't sleep together. So Aisha says she'll sleep with Miharu instead, because she also has a lot of magical energy. After that, everyone goes to sleep in their respective rooms. When Rio is alone, he is thinking, I never thought I would meet Miharu again. He should tell her that I still have Haruto's memories. No, Haruto is dead. Now I am only Rio, and my life has only one purpose. Just then, Celia arrives there, and she starts asking him about his adventures, Ayase, the girls, and who knows how many questions. Haruto says, shut up, Dobe. I'll tell you. After this, Rio tells her that he has all the memories of his past life, and that because he came from their world, he can understand their language. In his past life, his name was Haruto, and when he died, he was 20 years old. After this, we again reach the Belsham Kingdom, where Charles and Race are talking to each other. Who would have thought, brother, that your fiancée would get kidnapped on the wedding day? Our soldiers are searching for all of them non-stop, but there is still no news about Celia. After this, he says that a hero has arrived in their kingdom. After this, we see that hero whom they had summoned, who, despite being well treated, was quite angry and was calling them all kidnappers. Meanwhile, when he was summoned, he was comfortably lying on his bed playing a game, and when he arrived in this world, he had a sword in his hand. Flora tells him that she summoned him here and that he is a hero. Seeing the way the princess talks, he understands that the social status of a hero is very good here, after which he tells his name as Hiro Kuta. After this, in the present, he has troubled them all a lot. On the other hand, they don't take both the children shopping because there is a barrier around this house, and they will be safer inside it. After this, Rio picks up Miharu and starts to leave, and Aisha takes Celia along. Seeing her so quiet, Rio asks her, aren't you scared? Why would I be scared when you're here, brother? It's only been 4 days since I met him. How did you gain so much trust? Meanwhile, Celia asks Aisha how much she knows about Rio. Aisha tells her that she knows almost everything because her memories are connected to Haruto, but Celia doesn't like the fact that she knows everything about him. After this, when they all land near the town, Rio gives them both an item each with which they can change their hair color. After changing their color, when they all go to the town, no one recognizes them. Rio takes them all to Lizel's shop where they start shopping, and Rio himself comes outside so that he can gather information from the people. After this, when he returns, Miharu had selected a dress for him, seeing which the other girls also say that it looks good on him, so Rio buys that dress. They have returned after shopping and have brought a lot of clothes for the children, and they all like those clothes very much. Iger tells him that he had inquired about their friends, but no information was found about them. One thing is certain, all those stories were true. Heroes were really summoned here, but he only knows about 2 heroes. So it is possible that these 3 are not heroes and were summoned here only because they were with those 2. Further, Rio uses that crystal to teleport from there to the demi-humans village, and as soon as he arrives there, Latifa along with the other girls welcomes him. After this, at Rio's request, they all take him to the elders. After this, Rio tells them everything. The people who are with me are probably not heroes, and they came here because they were with the heroes when the summoning happened. I came to know all these things after talking to them. The elders ask him how he was able to talk to them, so Rio tells them that he used to live in the same world before, and that after his death, he was reborn here. He asks if he can let some people stay there because, according to him, it would be safer for them. The elders agree to this, but they say that once they leave, they must not tell anyone about this place. After that, he also tells them about Celia, and when they find out that he ran away with the bride, Dominic starts laughing loudly. Later that night, Latifa and Rio are talking to each other, where we learn that he had already told Latifa about Aki and Miharu. When she finds out that both of them are here, she asks Rio if he told them the whole truth. Rio says that he didn't want to hurt anyone, so he didn't tell them, and he also asked Latifa not to tell them either. The next day, he gets ready to leave. When Latifa asks him, he says that once he leaves them here, it might take him about 2 weeks to find clues. After that, he leaves. Then we see Lee Sizzle talking to a king. The king says that he wants to bring the heroes of the Beltrum kingdom here so that they can protect his city. The king even tells her the name of the hero, but the name Sakart sounds familiar to her. So she asks him what the name of the hero they summoned is. The king says his name is Satsuki. Hearing this, Liesel becomes thoughtful and then goes to meet Satsuki, the hero of her kingdom. After that, we see a lot of zombies being controlled by Rice. He says, "Go and catch whoever has the most magic. If you find anyone useless, don't hesitate to kill them." Then we see our group, where Celia is teaching Masato the local language, and Miharu is cooking with Aki. Meanwhile, Aki is worried because her next school term is about to start, but now she is stuck here. On top of that, she doesn't even know if she'll be able to meet her mom again or not. Miharu explains to her that she shouldn't worry so much, and that Aisha and Haruto will definitely fix everything. She thinks Haruto is a good person, and maybe that's why she feels so comfortable with him. And because his name is also Haruto. But hearing this, Aki gets upset. How can you compare this Haruto to that one? You know what kind of person he is. By comparing him to that guy, you're actually insulting this Haruto. After that, she goes outside to calm herself down and starts wondering if Miharu still loves Haruto. Just then, Aisha senses some monsters, and when Miharu comes outside, she sees that some monsters have appeared in front of them. But before they can attack, Aisha arrives and saves them. Hearing the noise from outside, she tells Masato to stay inside, and when one of the monsters tries to attack them, Celia comes and saves them, after which Rio also arrives. One by one, he defeats all the monsters. But before dying, one of the monsters says to Rio, "Please kill me." Rio starts thinking about this. Why would a monster ask to be killed? And on top of that, it could talk. Something is definitely wrong here. On the other side, we see Rice, whose zombies have brought many humans there, but one group didn't return. So he realizes that someone must have killed them, but he doesn't think much about it since he can still make plenty of zombies. The next day, Rio takes everyone to that village where Latifa comes to meet them first. Seeing her, Masato says she's really beautiful and looks like a proper fairy. He especially likes all of their ears. Then everyone introduces themselves, and Celia asks Latifa if she can touch her tail. She touches her tail and gets really happy. After that, Rio takes them all to the elders. On the way, all the villagers are secretly watching them, and when Miharu talks to a little girl, all the villagers come out and quickly become friendly with them. After that, they all reach the elders, and Dras also arrives to welcome them. To celebrate their arrival, everyone starts a party where everyone enjoys a lot. After the party ends, Latifa shows them the house where they'll all be staying from now on. They really like their rooms there, after which all the girls go to bathe together, and Celia likes Latifa so much that she's still clinging to her. Meanwhile, outside, Masato is telling Rio that he also wants to become as strong as him, and asks how he became so powerful. Rio says that he wasn't that strong, but he had to become strong. "I want to be like you too. You're really amazing." The next day, Celia, Rio, and Isha get ready to leave. Rio is going to gather information, while Celia is going along to send a letter to her father. Miharu gives him a lot of cookies because he has helped them so much. She knows that cookies are a small thing, but it's all she could do for now. Rio says it's more than enough, after which the three of them leave. As soon as they leave, Latifa says that they should plan a surprise before they return. After this, we reach the Beltrum Kingdom again, where Liesel has gone to meet the new hero. Seeing Liesel's beauty, Satsuki is completely mesmerized. Meanwhile, the three of them have reached Celia's house, where she tells them about a secret entry that only her family knows. Then, using invisibility, they reach the secret door in the garden, and after entering, Celia starts placing the letter for her father. Her father realizes that the door has been used, and he knows it must be Celia, but by the time he reaches there, Celia has already left. In the letter, she wrote that she respects her parents a lot, and misses them too. What she did might be wrong, but she doesn't want to get married yet, especially not to someone like Charles. She says she's completely safe where she is, and will return soon to meet them. Her father runs to the garden saying, "Celia dear, where are you? I'm not angry with you at all." But Celia had already left by then. Rio then asks her, "Are you sure you don't want to meet your father?" Celia says, "Yes, for now, this is for the best." After that, we see Liesel, who was sitting in an airship going somewhere. Suddenly, the entire ship starts shaking, and a maid tells her that a wyvern has attacked them, which forces them to land on the water. When they reach the port, they see that the hero Saka has already arrived there because he had come along with the Duke for some work. But due to the dragon, they also had to get down. Then we see Rio and Celia walking around the town when they notice that Aisha is not with them. When they go back, they see her eating food at a place. Rio apologizes and says he'll pay for it, but the shopkeeper refuses because he was giving everything out for free. When Haruto asks him why, he says that he worked on the hero's ship and got a lot of money for it. In celebration, he is covering everyone's food cost. Rio then asks if he knows where they are all going. The shopkeeper tells him there's a heroes meeting, and they're going with Liesel. After that, we see the meeting where Liesel explains how dangerous the dragon's presence here really is. Handling it isn't something any human can do, and if it attacks the city, they'll need to evacuate the people. She decides to return to her town on foot, as using the airship might provoke the dragon to attack. Sokka thinks that walking would also be very dangerous, so he wants to go with them because, as a hero, he should help people. After that, everyone sets out from there. But when they reach the forest, many monsters surround them. To fight them, the soldiers and a few of Liesel's maids come outside, but the monsters start attacking them by throwing rocks, shaking the entire carriage. So all the maids create barriers in front of them to protect everyone. Then Arya comes out and tells the soldiers to focus on defense and leave the fighting to them. Arya starts using her magic to attack the monsters, killing many of them in one strike. After that, she starts fighting them with her sword, and the rest of the maids join her to help. Meanwhile, Rice is watching everything from above and is quite impressed by the strength of the girls. Inside, the hero is feeling troubled because he doesn't understand what's happening outside. He then says to Rowana, "Aren't you scared? Don't worry. If needed, I'll defeat them all by myself." Just then, something falls on their carriage, and Sokka can't wait anymore. He grabs his sword and steps outside, followed by the others. Seeing so many monsters, they are also surprised. Liesel leaves the defense work to Rowana and goes to help the injured. Then Arya arrives and starts reporting to her there are many monsters around them. They've killed almost all the monsters in front, and the remaining ones are being handled with her team. Then she leaves to kill the monsters coming from the back. Seeing this, Rice says, "My plan finally worked." Watching Arya fight those monsters, Raymond also gets quite impressed. Arya tells him that she will handle everything there and sends him to help the others. Just then, a legendary Minotaur monster arrives. Rowana explains that this monster is extremely powerful, and it caused massive destruction during the Divine Demon War. Meanwhile, Sokka, who was supposed to protect everyone, gets terrified upon seeing the monster and falls to the ground in fear. Arya starts to go help them, but that same monster comes in front of her. She somehow manages to dodge its attack, and the second Minotaur lifts their carriage and throws it far away. It tries to attack Flora, but Liesel saves her. The monster gets ready to attack again, but this time Rio arrives to save her and cuts off its hand. He wants to defeat the monster in a slightly humiliating way, so he pushes its own sword down into its own body. Seeing Rio, Flora remembers that he had saved her from this monster in the same way before. Haruto is about to go over to them when a maid asks him who he is, but just then, another Minotaur starts coming toward them. So Haruto says, "We'll talk about this later," and heads off to fight the monster. He blocks its attack and sends it flying through the air. Everyone is shocked seeing all this. Another Minotaur comes to attack him, but Rio easily defeats it too. All the soldiers start cheering for him, and seeing all this, the smaller monsters get scared and run away. After that, Rio returns to the others, where both Rio and Flora are surprised to see each other. Rio can't believe that he's meeting Flora again and had to save this dummy once more. Liesel thanks him for saving them and introduces herself, after which Rio also introduces himself as Roto. Meanwhile, Flora was looking at Rio very carefully and asks him if they've met before, but Rio says he doesn't think so. Rio tells them that he's an adventurer. Soon after, Sokka also arrives and introduces himself. "You handle the sword pretty well. I didn't know there were people like you here." "Yeah, no, your level is far above mine. That's why I'm feeling a bit nervous." Hearing this, Liesel laughs. After that, Rio helps them a bit more and fixes their carriage so it can move again. Then they all start to leave, but they see the Minotaur's sword lying in front of them. They don't understand how they'll move it, but just then the hero arrives and lifts the sword, throwing it far away. Seeing this, everyone claps for him, and Rio notices that he truly has a lot of magical power. After that, Haruto also starts going with them. Meanwhile, in the spirit village, Latifah is teaching everyone their language. Just then, a child comes to call Masato for fishing, so only the two of them go out and begin spirit arts training. Miharu is learning very quickly, which makes Aki feel sad, thinking maybe she has no talent. Their training ends, but instead of going home, Aki says she wants to take a walk. As she walks ahead, she sees two kids playing, which reminds her of her own childhood when she used to go on picnics with Miharu and Haruto. On the way back from one picnic, she had said, "No matter what happens, we'll always stay together." Haruto said, "Of course." But sometime after that, her parents got divorced, and Aki went with her mom, while Haruto stayed with her dad. Crying, she says, "Why is this happening? You said we'd always be together." But Haruto just apologizes and leaves. After that, we see the Emperor in the Proxy Kingdom, with Lucius also present. Just then, Rice arrives. "There's been a bit of trouble in our plans. It's a kind of trouble that even Minotaurs can't handle, so I'll need your help." Lucius asks what he'll have to do. Rice says they'll need to kidnap Flora, the second princess of Beldam. Meanwhile, Flora is lying on her bed thinking, was that Rio? On the other hand, Rio has reached Amade. Liesel tells him that tomorrow she'll send send one of her maids to bring him, and then she leaves. Later, Haruto goes to meet Celia and Aisha. Rio tells them that Liesel gave them this inn to stay at, and they'll be living there for a few days. Hearing this, Celia gets scared because Arya might recognize her, as they used to be friends in college. But Rio says that she has changed her hair color, so there's no need to worry about that. He also tells them that he met Rowana and Princess Flora. While Rowana didn't recognize him, Flora was slightly suspicious. There is definitely danger in staying here, but he wants to build a good relationship with Liesel because the hero he's looking for might be here. So for that, he needs to form good relations with the powerful people here. That's why he's going to meet them tomorrow. On the other hand, Gustav also wants to build a good relationship with him after seeing his strength, so he wants to go meet him with Liesel. Then we see Stuart and Alphonse, who take some girls to a 5-star hotel, but upon arriving, the receptionist tells them the room they want to book is already taken and asks them to select a different room. Tell them to vacate the room. I'll pay you 3 times the price. But the receptionist refuses. The room in question actually belongs to Rio. Hearing noise from outside, Rio and his group arrive. Upon seeing them, Rio recognizes the two. They say they want to use the room, so Rio should move to another one. Rio doesn't want to create unnecessary trouble, so he agrees. But as they were leaving, Alphonse blocks their path and asks Celia and Aisha to join him for dinner. Rio says they've already eaten and starts to leave. Did no one teach you that when a noble says something, it should be obeyed? Oh really? Which rule book says that? Hearing this, Alphonse angrily attacks him, but Rio easily throws him down. Then Stuart also tries to attack, but Rio dodges it. Despite all this, they still don't back down, so Rio has to knock both of them unconscious. He then tells the waiter to take them away. Next, we see Maria reporting these events to Liesel. Now he'll think all nobles are arrogant. I wanted to create a good image in front of him. He must be punished for his behavior. Miss Liesel, can you inform Haruto? I'm very ashamed of my son's behavior and apologize. After that, Gustav calls both of them to his room. I didn't expect much from you, but this is the limit. I already warned you that you wouldn't get another chance. I'm disowning you from my property. What are you saying? He was just a commoner. A commoner. He's far more capable than you. He defeated 3 minotaurs without any trouble. Are you even worthy of doing half of what he did? Alphonse says that if he had a magical sword too, he could have done it. Really? I heard you both attacked him together and still lost. Anyway, I'll give you one more chance. Tomorrow, Liesel is going into those forests to investigate the monsters. If you do something praiseworthy there, I'll forgive you. But if you fail, I'll send you back to Rutania and have you imprisoned. But before that, you must apologize to Haruto. Meanwhile, Liesel comes to Haruto. After introductions, Haruto asks them to wait inside. Liesel says that the town apologizes for what happened yesterday and that they still want to invite him to dinner at the palace. He can bring his friends if he wants, but Haruto says the girls are tired since last night, so he'll go alone. He reaches the palace, where Gustav apologizes for his son's actions and then calls the 2 boys, who kneel and apologize to him. After that, they all have dinner. Liesel, after some experimentation, has managed to make the local rice taste just like on Earth, which everyone likes a lot. When asked, Haruto says he has been traveling since the age of 11 because his parents died when he was young. He is currently 16. When asked why he travels, he says he's searching for a special person important to his parents. Gustav tells him that if he ever thinks of settling down, he can stay in the Baltan Kingdom because they need skilled swordsmen like him and will offer him a good position. Hearing this, Sokka says, looking at you, I feel like I'm seeing another hero. No matter what I do, I'll never be equal to a hero. You're right, no one can match a hero because they have the power to conquer the world. When asked further, Liesel says that the hero summoned by Glauc is named Satsuki. Hearing this, he realizes she's the girl Miharu is looking for, and that many other heroes from different kingdoms will also be arriving. Hearing all this makes Haruto happy. Then we see the soldiers, among whom is Alphonse, and he is secretly planning revenge on Haruto. But just then, Lucius arrives. No more minotaurs will be coming? Don't worry about that. All the monsters in this forest are gone. You all look like Princess Flora's personal guards. Who are you and how do you know all this? Rice then asks him, weren't you once a noble of the Beldam Kingdom? Do you know any of them? No, I don't know any of them. And anyway, who are they? I don't care. Well then, capture them alive for me, he says. Lucius begins fighting all the soldiers and is beating them easily. Alphonse gets a chance to attack him, but Lucius blocks it effortlessly. You seem interesting. I'll save you for last, he says, and punches him far away. Then he tells the soldiers to attack with full power. But even with all their strength, Rice is knocking them out one by one with ease. Watching this, Alphonse thinks, man, what is this? Everyone gets a magical sword. That's cheating. Soon, Lucius finishes them off and finally comes to Alphonse. Alphonse tries to bribe him to let him go, but Lucius knocks him out too. After that, we see him being dragged somewhere. When he wakes up, he sees lots of zombies around him. Seeing monsters in knight uniforms confuses him, and just then, a soldier in front of him turns into a demon. He screams, asking what is happening. So Rice tells him that this is body modification. They are reconstructing their bodies and souls. Seeing the Deem Sons, Alphonse starts vomiting. Rice asks Lucius why he kept him alive. Lucius says he wants to test the perfect revenant thing on him. After that, Lucius grabs him, and Rice begins inserting a red-colored stone into his body. You won't feel the pain now, but in a while, your body and mind will start bursting from the pain. Meanwhile, at night, Raymond is giving a report to Gustav that the search party hasn't hasn't returned from the forest. Gustav assumes the monsters must have killed them. He says Alphonse turned out to be completely useless. On the other side, we see Flora, who is feeling really bad. Seeing Haruto makes her feel like he is Rio, and when Rio saved her back then, she couldn't even thank him properly, nor could she clear up the misunderstandings. Right in front of this inn, all the wanted posters are placed, and yet he did nothing. Now he's putting on an act. In the forest, Rice was staring at his creation, so Lucius says, "Hey man, what are you doing? How long are you going to stare at it? Can't even eat food in front of these idiots." After which Rice hides all of them. Then we see Alphonse, who has turned into a very powerful monster. Meanwhile, when Rio was sleeping, Aisha wakes him up because she can sense many Deem Suns approaching from the west direction. According to her, he should have sensed their presence from far away, but for some reason, he didn't. On the other hand, at the town's west gate, a guard sees some Deem Suns walking toward them, after which he rings the emergency bell. The sound reaches Rio too, so Celia tells him to go find out what's happening, and she doesn't go with him because she knows that if she goes, she'll only become a burden to him. When Rio comes outside, he sees all the citizens evacuating. The gate has been broken down by monsters, and several monsters are standing nearby. Some soldiers are helping with the citizens' evacuation, while the rest preparing for battle. And along with that, adventurers from the Adventurer Guild have also stepped forward to fight. Then Aisha tells him that many monsters have appeared at the east gate, and we see that there is a Minotaur, along with several smaller monsters. The Minotaur breaks the east gate in a single attack. Rio tells Aisha to stay with Celia and heads toward the east gate himself, where Liesel's maids, along with the remaining soldiers, are fighting the monsters. But the number of monsters is too high, and only a few soldiers are left. The monsters were about to overpower them, but then Rio arrives and drives them all outside the gate with a single magical attack. After that, he goes to Chloe and says that until reinforcements arrive, he will help them. At that moment, another wave of monsters appears, but Rio wipes them all out with a single attack. Seeing his strength, everyone standing behind him is astonished. Meanwhile, Liesel has set up a camp to monitor everything and make plans accordingly. A maid comes and reports that they've just received information that, along with a Minotaur, several monsters have already entered through the east gate. Liesel asks how far inside they've gotten, but the maid says they haven't received that information yet, and their forces have scattered. So Liesel tells that maid to go there and take anyone she meets along the way. As soon as that maid leaves, another maid arrives and reports that a skilled swordsman has reached the east gate and has pushed back all the monsters. Hearing this, Liesel understands that it must be Haruto, and because of the chaos caused by the monsters, Rice and Lucius have easily entered the town. Rice tells him that once they receive the Minotaur's signal, they will move forward and instructs Lucius to be ready for the moment. Then he thinks to himself that the aura of that spirit is still in the center of the town. Meanwhile, Rio is still fighting monsters. The guards ask who he really is. Chloe tells them that he is Haruto, and he was the one who saved the princess and Liesel. While fighting, Rio notices that the Minotaur and the humanoid monsters aren't advancing. With their power, they could easily break the gate. So why are they just standing still? Is their plan something else? Rio asks Aisha if anything has changed in town, but Aisha says everything is the same, though she will contact him if anything does happen. Then Cassette and Natalie arrive, and they see that everyone is safe. Chloe tells them that Haruto has been fighting alone all this time for them, and seeing him fight, the girls are impressed, but they also realize that if he keeps fighting like this, he'll run out of magic soon. So they tell Haruto he can return now, and they'll handle everything. Haruto tells them that before going, he wants to take care of the Minotaur. They say that since he is just an ordinary citizen, they don't want to keep him there for too long. Haruto says not to worry, he can kill it from here. Haruto takes down the Minotaur with a single strike, but he doesn't stop there. He launches another attack that finishes off the remaining smaller monsters. Seeing all this, Cassette starts having naughty thoughts and invites him straight to her room at night, causing Natalie and Chloe to push her back and say, "Don't mind her, you go." Meanwhile, a large number of monsters have entered the town, and Arya is also facing many demonids and minotaurs. Suddenly, they all start screaming together, and Arya can't understand what's happening. They're screaming so loudly that their voices echo throughout the entire town. On the other side, Rice says that it looks like the monsters will be defeated sooner than they thought, so they need to move quickly. "Alphonse, all our hopes rest on you. Don't worry, leave everything to me." Outside, humanoid monsters have begun attacking. Somehow, the soldiers are managing to fight them off. Then the minotaurs also begin advancing from behind, but before they can enter, Arya steps forward to fight them. On the other hand, many humanoid monsters have already entered the town. When one monster is about to attack a child, Rio saves the child and starts defeating the other monsters too. After killing them all, he helps with the evacuation, where people thank him for his help. At that moment, a soldier comes and says that Lady Liesel has given direct orders that when he and his companions arrive, they should be taken to the castle immediately. Meanwhile, Alphonse and Lucius have already reached inside the castle, where Alphonse is acting as a guide for him. They both reach near the guest room. Lucius says to him, "Now everything depends on you. You will not do anything to Princess Flora. Apart from her, you can kill anyone. You can beat up the hero a bit too, but don't take his life either, and the princess shouldn't even get a scratch." Further, Alphonse picks up a guard and throws him inside the room, after which he enters the room with some more monsters, and everyone present isn't there gets ready to fight. That is enough for today. I will see you all in next episode. Do subscribe and press the bell icon, and like this video, drop a comment at last. Thanks for watching.
Are you sure about